The world feels tense right now. Political divisions, economic uncertainty, the cost of living, ongoing wars, environmental crises. It's a lot. And all of it presses down on us, often quietly, often invisibly. Many people are struggling, but there's something curious about how we tend to respond. Instead of reaching out, we withdraw. We say we're fine when we're not. We wave off concern with a smile or a joke. We soldier on, convincing ourselves that we don't need help, or worse, that we don't deserve it. And even when someone genuinely wants to help, we deflect. We downplay, we turn away. Why is that? Why is it so hard to let people help us? Today, I want to explore what might be the trickiest of all the flows of compassion: receiving compassion from others. In compassion-focused therapy, we often talk about three flows of compassion. There's compassion we give to others, being there for people when they're struggling. Then there's self-compassion, offering care and support to ourselves when we're struggling. And finally, there's receiving compassion from others, letting people be there for us. This one can be surprisingly difficult. In fact, for many of us, it's the most difficult flow of all. To understand why, let's take a moment to zoom out to a broader view, an evolutionary perspective. Human beings evolved in social groups, and compassion emerged as one of the most important survival strategies. Compassion helped us care for our offspring, support the vulnerable, cooperate in groups, and build strong, trusting communities. The capacity for compassion, both to give and receive, helped us survive. But we also evolved powerful threat detection systems, inner alarms designed to keep us safe. And those alarms sometimes get triggered by closeness, by vulnerability, by the act of receiving care. Because to receive compassion, we have to let our guard down. We have to be seen, and that can feel risky. Over time, for a whole range of reasons, we may develop what are called fears, blocks, and resistances to compassion. Sometimes these are rooted in early experiences, times when we needed support but didn't receive it, or when compassion came with conditions or consequences. Sometimes they come from social messages, this idea that we have to be independent, self-sufficient, always in control. We might start to believe things like, if I let someone help me, it means I'm weak. If I accept support, I'll owe them something. They're only being nice out of pity. Or even, I don't deserve their kindness. These beliefs can live just beneath the surface, shaping our reactions in ways we might not even realize. And we see it play out in everyday moments. A friend offers to help us move house, and we say no, not because we don't need the help, but because we don't want to be a burden. A colleague notices we're overwhelmed and offers to listen, but we wave them off, trying to appear composed. A partner reaches out with kindness and we flinch, not trusting the safety of their care. These are subtle yet powerful ways we resist receiving compassion. But here's the good news. Receiving compassion isn't just something we either can or can't do. It's a skill, and like all skills, it can be learned, developed, and strengthened over time. It begins with something very simple, but also incredibly powerful, allowing ourselves to notice when we're suffering. We become sensitive to the signals. Tightness in the chest, that sinking feeling in the stomach, the weariness behind our eyes, and we name them for what they are. This hurts. I'm struggling. I need support. Once we begin to tune into our suffering, the next step is to ask ourselves, gently and without judgment, what might help ease this pain, even just a little? Sometimes it's comfort, sometimes it's company, sometimes it's a bit of practical help, or simply a quiet presence. Then comes the part that takes courage. We open ourselves up. We express our need to someone else. We might say, I think I need a hug, or could you just sit with me for a bit, or even, I'm not sure what I need, but I don't want to be alone right now. This kind of openness takes real strength. It asks us to be vulnerable, yes, but not fragile. Vulnerability in this context is about being honest and brave in the face of suffering. It's about committing to our own well-being by reaching out, even when it feels uncomfortable. In this way, receiving compassion becomes a practice of wisdom, courage, and commitment. It's not passive, it's active, intentional, and deeply human. Of course, there's another layer to all this. Sometimes we're willing to receive, but there's no one there, or at least no one who knows how to respond in a way that feels supportive. Compassion is inherently relational. It requires another person to have the capacity, the intention, and the skill to offer care that's actually helpful. This is one of the tragedies of modern life. We're all a bit overwhelmed, a bit distracted. Sometimes people don't have the emotional availability. Sometimes they don't notice our need. Sometimes they offer a version of help that just doesn't land. So part of the skill of receiving compassion is also about discernment. Who are the safe people in our lives? Who's emotionally available? Who responds with warmth and steadiness when we express our needs? And sometimes we need to teach others how to support us. We need to say, here's what helps me. Or, when you say that, I feel more alone. It's not always easy, but it's part of cultivating relationships that are rich with compassion. Not just given, not just directed inward, but also gracefully received. Let's try something together. Bring to mind a time when someone tried to offer you kindness or support. What happened? How did you feel? What did you do in response? Did you let the compassion in, or did you turn away from it? Now gently ask yourself, what might have stopped me from receiving that kindness? Was it fear, shame, uncertainty? And then just as gently, what might I need next time to feel a little more open, a little more safe, a little more able to receive? You don't need to have the answers. Just the willingness to ask the questions is already a form of self-compassion. So why is it hard to let people help us? Because our brains are wired to protect us, even from kindness, because we carry stories about what it means to need, to ask, to accept, because the world around us tells us to be strong, but not to be held. But here's the truth. Receiving compassion is not a weakness. It's one of the most courageous things we can do. It completes the circle. It allows love and care and support to flow not just outwards or inwards, but towards us from others who genuinely want to help. And you too are worthy of that. Thanks for spending this time with me. And if this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Or maybe you could share it with someone who finds it hard to let help in. Maybe it'll be the gentle nudge they need. Take good care of yourself. And when help comes, maybe just try leaning in, even a little.